You ever have one of those days where you feel like you're just about to crest the hill and you're going to be at the top and it's going to be all downhill and smooth sailing from there? And then you realize as you crest the top of the hill, there's yet another hill. Well, today is one of those days. So today, came down here to the wood yard and cranked over the machine a couple times, and that was it. And she was kaput. So hoping it's not the starter. I do have a sinking feeling that it probably is. I've had this battery in this machine since I bought it. Now, if those of you who have been watching my channels for a while, you know that I bought this used. So, but it has done good. I've had this thing for probably, I don't know, 4 years now, and I've never had to mess with the battery at all. There was a couple times in the winter where it was a little bit weak in starting, but it always cranked over. But this time around, it's not the case. I did hook up a jump pack to it earlier, and even the jump pack was not having it. So that's what's leading me to believe that maybe the starter is shot. So I'm going to try to get this battery out of here. You can see that there's some corrosion on the terminal there. I'm thinking I'm probably not going to be able to get this out without taking this other bracket off of here. I was hoping maybe I could naggle it, but that's not going to happen. With this hood shroud here, I'm going to have to take out these two bolts and these two bolts to get this out of the way so I can get that battery out of there. But yeah, so I had the torpedo heater on this thing, trying to get any of the hydraulics in the tank and the also the oil, the motor oil, to thin out a little bit to see if maybe you know, because I got 1540 in there, so I was thinking maybe that was a little thick. But so I'm going to try to get this thing going. I'm going to try to charge up this battery some, clean up these terminals, and we'll get back to that on another day. But that's what I'm dealing with right now. So considering the excavator's been down, I haven't been able to use it to buck up the logs like I typically do. So yesterday I was doing some groundwork here and got these things bucked up and found the dirt a couple times, unfortunately. So tonight I'll be touching up some chains. But so I'll probably spend some of my time today, instead of splitting, I'm going to be over here with probably the picaroon and getting those logs down by the splitter so I can, well, manhandle them instead of doing it in the gentleman's way. So let's get on with it and see what I can get done. So it's about 4:30 in the afternoon, or I should say early evening. Sun's about down over the ridge. So yeah, I didn't get a whole lot done today. However, I did get the splitter fired up, and I got another third of a cord, and probably 1.5 third cord totes filled up. So that's a plus. I did get some of that done. As far as the excavator, so I brought that battery up here, and I used an old style deep cycle battery. To be correct, a battery charger. So I hooked it up to the battery, and it showed that the battery was fine. So I took out my multimeter, and it was showing 12.4, 12.6 volts, somewhere in there. So I don't believe it's the battery. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about batteries. This does have liquid cells. So I guess maybe there is a chance that, several of those cells might be a little low on distilled water. I might look into that a little bit. But yeah, so I put it on charge. I put it on a slow deep cycle charge for the whole day, and to see if it needed a little extra kick. So I just got back up from the wood yard. I did hook up the battery to the machine, and once I cycled the key on and off a few times, left it sit with the ignition on, the power finally did start getting to the I guess there's the ECM or whatever computerized stuff that is in there to wake all the extremities up. And finally the gauge cluster did come on, and the actual work light came on at full brightness. But again, the starter's zero response now. So my thinking is that the starter's just shot. Yeah, so that's going to be it for this video as far as any successes with the excavator. I will be tinkering with it throughout the week. I'll probably wind up tilting the cab up to get a look underneath, see where that starter is. Maybe it's got a bad ground. It could be a loose ground down there. But I'll bring you guys along with whatever happens there. And we'll try to get this thing back up and running as quick as possible, because it's not fun carrying them big, wet, heavy rounds up to the splitter. So yeah, if you guys like the content you see here in the Mount Tammany Ridge channel, feel free to give me a thumbs up and leave some comments down below. That'd be great. And if you could hit that like button, subscribe, share with some friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully it's a good one. Have a good night.